Hi everybody, we're going to start this video by saying a big thank you to Gerald, who's always commenting on my Aura reactions. You're a great asset to have, Gerald. I really mean it, with your insights and different perspectives outside my own. But we'll keep it to my own because we're going to do a reaction to the Soulless Creatures or Aura. Let's go straight into a bit of bio about this. It's the sixth track of a different kind of Human Step 2 album, and Aura portrays somebody who's been torn apart by a Machiavellian person that appears they didn't possess a soul, probably given the fact that this person lacked empathy and humanity. Nevertheless, she keeps her faith and positivity. That kind of hurt didn't leave her bruised for life, but her wounds aren't fully healed, and Aura walks through a dark path that eventually led her to self-development, as she begins to discover new things about herself and to reflect on what she still has. She also reflects on what was given away. She continues in a Clash magazine interview about the songs. She said it is her favourite track in the album, adding, "It means a lot to me, and it's written about giving too much. It's Mother Earth writing to humankind about wanting to thrive again. Sometimes I don't understand what a song means for a while. It sounds pretentious and stupid, but it does happen. And I just write and write all the time. I have songs already for the fifth album, which is out, and it's more of a pop album, and we're all enjoying that. But let's get into savouring the live version of Soulless Creatures and Aura."
Never knew what this curious head of mine. Never knew what is love if kept inside. Nothing but an endless empty heart, like laying a seed within the dark. And give me a piece of your heart, and give me a piece of your soul as we go. I wouldn't mind if I can't find anything to save our kind, or the pieces of my body is gone. Look at me now, I'm falling apart in the light. All the pieces that I have lost, I have lost. Come back to me after peace restores, waiting for the world to turn once more, listening to the deep magnetic sound, hunting for a victim lying down. Come back to me after peace restores, so give both parts of me. I give both parts of me.
Right up to the very last note, it deserved that attention. It's just simply incredible how I call myself a warrior. I'm very proud, always have been for many years, supporting Aurora, all her music. And still I find people who've never heard of her, and I play it from my channel, some of my reactions, and they're blown away. And I have a Croatian friend, and he said to me he never heard of her, and we were talking about Enya and how amazing she was, and he was just totally in silence listening to Aurora. And to get that reaction is wonderful, but she still does that to me, and I'm sure she still does that to you. It's just how it is. Every word resonates with you. Every liquid gold vocal wonderment that comes out of her mouth just transcends, and you become, it's like a metamorphosis that takes place. You become a different person. You're elevated, you're lifted, you're taken from a place of a sublime dark place, and suddenly you feel I'm floating again. That resonated with me a lot, because soulless creatures, there's a lot of us out there at the moment. We're all suffering after COVID, we're all suffering world crisis, there's a war going on, there's different wars, and people are just suffering. So a lot of people are feeling soulless, and that's why I always find it fascinating with the lyrics, as I'm going to translate now. What do the lyrics mean to me in this particular day and time? So we'll go straight to the top, and we'll begin with verse 1. Never knew this curious head of mine, it begins. Never knew what is love if kept inside. Nothing but an endless empty heart, like laying a seed within the dark. The pre-chorus says, give me a piece of your heart, give me a piece of your hands as we go. So straight away the opening verse is about, you know, everyone is curious what love is. We all keep it inside, and when it starts to emerge itself, we're always like little children, like that tingly feeling going. And she mentions here straight away about it, nothing but an endless empty heart. So there's a paradox here. Never knew this curious head of mine, never knew what is love if kept inside. So she's a person that wants to develop love, that gives so much love, but at the same time she's still curious and safeguards her feelings, because her heart is truly not being fulfilled. At this particular point in writing this song, she still feels empty, like laying a seed. She wants that seed of love to be planted, and she wants it to grow for the world, for the place that she's in, for the people, for everything. And this is the beginning, because it says, she talks about give me a piece of your heart, give me a piece of your hands as we go. So she wants somebody to take her on this journey of love for the world, for themselves, for herself. And not guidance, but just somebody's hand to hold as she experiences the unknown. And the chorus said, I wouldn't mind if I can't find anything to save our kind. All the pieces of my body's gone. Look at me now, don't tell me how I feel inside. Every piece that I've lost, I have loved. Very beautifully put. When we experience love for a person, and that person leaves us, and our heart is broken into a million pieces, as we try to pick up the pieces, it's almost like putting a jigsaw back together again. And when we're putting it back, it's part of the healing process. We have to do that mentally before it affects us physically. And the great thing about here, that every piece I've lost, I've loved. Because when you're in a relationship, and your heart is broken into 1,000 pieces, and you're putting it back together. It's very symbolic to say that, and it's very beautifully put, because that's a piece of your heart you've given. When you were with that person, they shared the other side of your heart, and the two hearts beat as one. That's usually what happens with love. And you can't exist without them, and you gift them the emotional and physical side of you. I do say in love, always keep a piece of your heart back from anybody and protect it with as much love and protectiveness as you can. So at least you have another piece to give to somebody else. It's just my way of thinking about it. So it continues, come, my wonders after dawn restores, waiting for the world to turn once more, listening to the deep magnetic sound, hunting for a victim, lying down. So she's saying, come, my wonders after dawn restores. So it's like when the darkness of reality hits her heart, as we've just discussed, in 1,000 pieces. And yet she's putting them lovely back together again and healing herself. But it's like the darkness over and then the dawn restores, because when you've done that, it's like a bright new day. It's like, now I can move on, now I can accept, now I can try and rationalize, now I can look on what happened, and hopefully it won't happen again. It's not about you making the same mistake again, it's about, or being too careful, it's just about not allowing to give so much the next time and holding a little bit back. Because she says, waiting for the world to turn once more, listening to the deep magnetic sound. So she listens to Mother Nature, and she, you know, Aurora performs without shoes, and that's connecting with the energies of Mother Earth through the ground. And I would say in times like this, if she walked through a forest, she'd be listening to the sound and listening to the whispers and wanting to know, wanting almost like a silent calling for Mother Nature, for the magnetic forces that surrounds us. Some call it, I don't know, karma, other people have chakras, that's what it's called. And it's just the energies. She's wanting them to come and heal her, and she's listening for them. And then she says, hunting for a victim lying down. Well, of course, she's the victim because she's been hurt. So she is lying down, and it's like, pick me up, Mother Nature, pick me up. And Goddess of Light, bring me into the world again with light and happiness. I don't want to experience this deathly lying down, being symbolic of that experience anymore. So pre-chorus says, come back to me after peace restores soulless creatures. So when soulless creatures is defined for me in this song, and she says, come back to me, she's the soulless creature. She doesn't know how to breathe, how to function, how to think, how to act. Her heart's been in a million pieces, but she's put it back together lovingly because they were pieces of love that she gave. Her heart's full of love for a person. So putting it back together, she wants to find a way. At the moment, she's soulless, she's floating, she's not knowing what to go. So when she says, come back to me, she's asking herself mentally to come back, the old her to come back and walk forth. So chorus 2 says, fearsome hearts, I wouldn't lie. I got memories that travels my mind. Fear not when you go. I got pieces of your hate in my soul. Look at me now, I'm falling apart in daylight. All the pieces that I've lost, I've loved. So she's reflecting, she's wondering what she did wrong, she's self-blaming herself, and there's no sense of anger here. Have you noticed that in the lyrics? It's all about, she's turned almost like a light on herself and self-analyzing every single thing and reflect, what did I do wrong? And people do that. And I would say don't do that, because if a thing happens, it happens for a reason. If you start self-blaming yourself, you mentally will become physically drained and become ill mentally. So I got pieces of hate in your soul. So she recognizes that her heart's broken in 1,000 pieces, but her soul was alive in the company of this person and the love of this person. But everything seemed, the whole world when it finished just seemed so dark, because she says, I'm falling apart in daylight. And that's normal, human emotions, evolving. Restless nights, horrible days, restless nights, darker days, until you start realizing it has to stop. I need to call on the goddess of love and ask her to fill me with love. I need to look at the moon's rays and absorb them and get energy. I need to ask the Venus of love to come and bring love back into me. It's almost a mother nature godly God world that Aurora lives in. So even in the daylight, she admits she's falling apart. All the pieces I've lost, I loved. So that's the heart. She gave her heart, and that was with love. So she continues on the bridge where she's letting her pain out when she's ooh, and she sings in those high notes. She's just, it's a sense of just craziness and releasing the frustration of it all. And then it goes back into chorus. I wouldn't mind if I can't find anything to save our kind. And when she says our kind there, it's very much about our kind who relies on the magnetic forces of chakra and Mother Nature and the goddesses to find healing. But she just, at the moment, as she admits, I can't find, because she continues, all the pieces of my body's gone. So she's feeling like a car crash situation, that somebody's just hit her full on. Every piece of her is broken. There's nothing inside. She physically can't stand up. The weight of it all. She's soulless, emptyless, almost like no skeletal. She's a spiritual existence at the moment, but in the darkness. And she says, look at me now. And that's herself looking at herself, saying, look at me, almost disgusted with how she's become. I'm falling apart in daylight. All the pieces I've lost, I loved. And the only way, and this is my advice to everybody in this situation, the only way that you can resolve a situation like that is to learn to love yourself again. You're worth it. Remember that. And the outro says, look at me now, I gave both sides of me, And when she says that, both sides of a person is not just the body and soul of a person, it's also the heart and her existence, her being offered up to you. And she said, I gave both sides of me. Oh. So she's lamenting, she's in regret at the moment, and she's trying to find healing. She's feeling soulless. And the way out of feeling soulless, as I've just said, is to continue to love yourself. And every day say it. Physically look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a beautiful person, I can heal, and I'll turn the darkness into daylight. And karma will come around to grant you that prayer. Honestly, self-belief, self-love is the answer to a situation like this. Thank you, Aurora. I hope everybody has enjoyed my interpretation of soulless creatures. Thank you, Gerald, for telling me my first one was all Audi and nobody could listen and look at my beauty. So I thank you for that. Take care for now until the next